Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Northern Arena presented by Bell. We've got another great matchup for you here. North American Showdown, NP versus FDL. A lot of single characters in the team titles tonight. You're watching here on moonducktv. I'm Zyori, joined tonight by Modpax. Trent, we've got another great night of Dota 2. Again, the lucky boys here. We get to cast NP for, what is this, our third cast in a row now. This is pretty exciting.
Yep. Yeah, they're back, baby. And one of the most hyped up teams, thanks to the old roster swap-a-rooney. And then, yeah, I would say FDL is probably the other big fan favorite in this whole tournament. So this should be a really good series.
Yep, absolutely. And NP undefeated with this new roster, I believe so. I have not had the toughest of opponents yet. We've had a lot of North America versus South America, and a number of quick games. We did see the one that stretched on a little bit longer. They pulled on the heartstrings of fans around the world, but alas, only 2-0s up till now. So a good record that we don't want to have tarnished tonight. OD and Oracle, two smart bands against FDL, the two heroes we saw them first pick pretty much any opportunity they could. At the very least, Oracle first pick, name of the game for this team. So NP, I think, with the right idea out of the gate. Drow Ranger and the Bat Rider now banned out by FDL.
Yep, I like it. Stanking playing a very good Oracle through all of their games there. So with it being out of the pool, you know, one of the better counters up against the Bat Rider, might as well get rid of that just so NP can't pull that one out in some of the later stages, perhaps. We saw a couple different openings from NP as well. We had that Void Sand King in both their first games, so I think that's something that they prefer when they're going 2-3, which makes sense. It's how they did it the last couple times. So having the first pick overall, they'll just go for the other big saving support left in the pool, and the Shadow Demon. Can't really fault them for that, and then it also goes right into some lovely combinations of Juggernaut, Morphling, and whatnot, but still safeguards you against that Chronosphere if FDL want to grab it.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw the Envy Terrorblade one game. Always Luna is an option when you're talking about Shadow Demon. FDL, aside from the Void, what else do they want to do here? I feel like in recent memory, it's just all Oracle in terms of this opening pick, and I'm curious how they change from here. What does Stan King play? What else is in his arsenal?
Yeah, what does he do when he has no Oracle deck? Usually it'd be Shadow Demon, right? So scary times ahead. There's some IO possibilities. I know they whipped it out in that one game against the Witch Doctors, but they did lose that one.
All right.
First off, they'll just snag up the Jug. Don't want to hand that one over. And I like the fact that you brought up that Terrorblade, too, because that was something where we saw them abusing a mid. The Alchemist got picked up, and they still had Envy's slot left in the draft and the possibility there, and they were just like, okay, let's just give Envy Terrorblade mid up against an Alchemist. He's going to be totally fine. And then I think we had AUI on the Morph that same game. So he was just doing his typical kind of farming very safely in the early stages of the game with little help from his supports. They tend to roam around very early, go into these early tower objective pushes using Envy as well as the offlaner. So see if we get a little bit of this kind of like 4-in-1 Dota.
We'll see. The Jug Shadow Demon is definitely something that can work well, though. So it is a slight deny pick and also something in the comfort zone of FDL. FDL tends to gravitate towards these sustainability type drafts, and I'm going to have to go offline here. Whoa, okay. Silencer's second pick. This is a big change of pace. I don't know this is much of a meta play, but it's interesting nonetheless. I wonder if a Silencer this early could mean that it's a core of some sort.
I mean, the option's always going to be there. I would assume this will be for Stan King. I think this will just kind of be like a 5-role kind of a hero where he'll be pretty poverty mode, but super powerful. I think a lot of people are experimenting with this guy right now. We're seeing him pop up in some of the more higher tier games, as well as some of the scenes going on over in Europe and whatnot. He's shown up in some of those games.
Yeah.
He's just extremely good against any sort of a saving support. You'll often see him up against Oracle, but Shadow Demon has a lot of the same ideas where you're waiting for your one key hero, and with a team like NP where we know AUI loves to get huge on some hero like Morphling or an Ursa or something, and if you initiate on him and he gets saved, like that first big initiation play gets countered out, the whole fight can just be lost. So if you're jumping in using that global silence to make sure that doesn't happen, it's going to be a pretty big benefit here for FDL.
No doubt. Now the Beastmaster, second pick for Team NP. Likely their offlaner, old Iron Talon man. We actually haven't seen him a whole lot in nights prior in this tournament. He's been passed over quite a few games. Kind of interesting to see NP prioritize him so much here. I don't think he was likely to be banned out by FDL, but does synergize really well with just like a zoo type strategy. You know, they could look for an Invoker plus Illusion, abusable hero like the Luna or Terrorblade, and just have this swarm of units with boars and hawks and all this, and it could be a pretty scary 5-man in the early game.
It is a little bit unusual, right? He's just been so overshadowed by, namely Faceless Void, and I guess Timbersaw to some extent, in terms of like those big offlaners. Axe showing up in tons of games too. Even a little bit of Centaur Warrunner from FDL truly there. So I don't know, maybe that'll happen again. But the Tinker possibility is there as well. Not sure if that'll happen. Maybe if there's like an Elder Titan or something, they want to go like ET4 and then give a Tinker over to Envy in the mid lane. You get that Spirit synergy as well as the Hawks for the Tinker to go on into. But then you're doing that into a Silencer, which can always be a little bit scary.
Yeah, Tinker into Silencer feels a little unlikely, but suppose it's still an option. Axe now, 3rd ban by NP. Okay. I like the Morphling ban here. We've talked a lot about Illusion heroes. Do you ban the Faceless Void if you're FDL? Is there any threat of that now that the Beastmaster has been picked up?
10 seconds remaining.
I don't think you ban it because you're kind of happy if they wind up with like a position 4 Beastmaster. I don't think that's too scary. That means there's no Ricky or Bounty
Well, couldn't
Hunter
you always
coming into
do
your
position
lanes.
1 Void, position 3 Beastmaster?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I think maybe you're just happy enough having Silencer that Faceless Void isn't a big concern for you. Like if they're putting so much of their stock of their draft into a hero that you're pretty good at countering, like once that Chrono comes down, or you just see him coming on in, it's hard to find either the damage post Chrono once the silence comes up, or sometimes even that one good Chrono. Like the second a fight is starting to develop, you can just pop out the silence knowing that Void's going to be looking for that, and until he's like diffuse a blade or something, you don't have to worry about it.
No, it's a fair point. And FDL will take heed to that. They ban out the Terrorblade, so just another big Illusion carry that plays very well with Shadow Demon. Luna, really the only one left, but hey, if they want to do this 5-man, zoo-type strat, Luna's a really good carry for that. They'll need to grab some sort of sustainability, but, I mean, that aura alone is so useful in those kind of early scenarios. Are we having a little pause here? Is that what I'm hearing? Already? Uh-oh.
Oh, looks that way. Stanking a little bit of a disconnect. Oh, apparently he's resuming. Yeah, we're good to
looks
go.
Like they're almost all set. Now that we're all familiar with the pausing etiquette that is to take place here in the Northern Arena Beat Invitational.
That's one. So what you call it, FDL.
One of 3. So use it wisely here.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh my! All right, so what's it going to be here, FDL? Still plenty of reserve time on both teams. Pretty flexible draft for FDL. Could be jug mid or safe lane.
Yeah, I'm starting to think about like that position 4 hero, the possibilities. You're looking at a Beastmaster, typically coming down to lane up against a jug plus a decent support can be very difficult. You get stunned up once, you get spun on, you're just gonna die. And hey, there's that Centaur Warrunner that we were mentioning. FDL have been going to.
All right, well, great initiation power. Centaur. Viable? Question mark.
Kind of good at following up from like global silence and stuff too. So.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to just have a real big beefcake in the front line that has a built-in force staff to either initiate or jump in with a stun and then disengage afterwards with a stampede.
Reserve time.
Yeah, the question of their 4-rolled hero though, I think for FDL just comes down to this Beastmaster and what they feel like they can do. Like, can you zone him out fully with a Silencer and a Juggernaut? Is the Silencer just going to get beat down too heavily from the boars? Like, he doesn't really have a good mechanism to take care of them. He can get glaives and stuff, and I suppose, like, the Arcane Curse, maybe that'll be enough to handle them out there, but if they feel like they can just get him out of the lane with the Silencer and the Juggernaut, and then you can start looking towards something like a Ricky or a Bounty Hunter who can not only harass the mid lane, because, your bottom lane's fine, but he can also go after that Beastmaster, where he's going to be doing a little bit of Iron Talon jungling.
All right, Trent. Let me bake your noodle for a second here.
Oh, God.
What about Eternal Envy Beastmaster?
I don't even remember the last time I saw a mid Beastmaster.
Well,
that looks like an Elder Titan in
the
a
time
Tinker,
to do it.
Say.
Yeah, Elder Titan though, good call, man. You nailed that one. Great initiation power on NP. Really good counter initiation as well. Now you've got 3 heroes who can jump to the safety of someone else and kind of reset with some sort of big stun or disable.
Yeah, this is nice, and you don't necessarily have to go for that whole Tinker thing too, right? Like, that's just kind of, I mean, it's super good, but with a Centaur Warrunner and that, going to be getting up Link, giving us a lot of movement speed, hard to perform perfect kind of rotation stuff with a Tinker without getting caught, but having this double synergy of just vision through the Elder Titan and the Beastmaster already makes them a very potent duo. You don't have to go full tilt with the trio of the Tinker that we saw so many teams do. That position 1 Faceless Void honestly still becomes very tempting just because of how good we know the Spirit is and everything with the Chronosphere, because you're just stacking so much more damage inside. Up against the Silencer, of course. Sketchy maybe, but again, very formidable.
Yeah, I think FDL needs some follow-up damage right now. You've got some good bursts from Centaur, the silence from Silencer, and I feel like they need a good magic dealer here, like a Storm Spirit or something for the mid, somebody that can zip around and do some nice early game damage. Okay, Nyx Assassin, a different solution here. Kind of curious what position they want to put the Nyx in now, if he's that hard 4 roaming around or if this is more of a mid Nyx.
Yeah, we had, I think it's 1437 was playing the Nyx Assassin the last time it was a support one that we had in our game. It was a Shadow Demon Nyx, because then they could roam around together, kind of a situation here. This time, though, he doesn't really have a buddy. Silencer, of course, not really helping out in terms of the control. So you're like following up a Blink or something like that from the Centaur War Runner. And it could end up being some sort of a mid-Nyx here. They have the benefit of the last pick, too, so it's always nice to have these versatile heroes going into a situation like that, because you can fully adjust your lanes and your heroes to what you want to see. We go back for the Envy Razor.
Classic.
Banned out so many games.
Yeah, we've seen it picked at least once, I think, and then banned out a whole bunch. But classic, high tempo, comes online very early, great dominator in the mid lane. Not somebody that Nyx will fare too kindly against. So now I feel like maybe a little bit less likely he's in the mid, though. On that same token, there aren't too many mids that really beat Razor. So curious what FDL wants.
We saw TA, I want to say, the time before.
Yeah.
There's an Ursa ban. Man, that guy is just on fire. Everyone's loving Ursa right now. Would have been a great hero to not only up against the Juggernaut, you know, your Svens, your Ursas, nice to try and handle him, but up against Centaur War Runner. Someone that can put damage on this guy, because he just builds so tanky that when you're magic reliant, I don't even know how you kill Centaur War Runner.
Yeah. What do they final pick for NP here, though? I still feel like Luna could be an option.
Yeah, I mean, it synergizes really well with Elder Titan, Beastmaster, Shadow Demon. Like, you can't really disagree with it.
Damage aura, attack speed aura, Razor and Beastmaster kind of naturally come online around a similar time, at least for that first push to start knocking down tier 1s, and Luna can certainly contribute with that. Okay, they take Sven. So a similar vein, though, not terrible with illusions and just an irritating hero in general, big hard-hitting bruiser, and, of course, another disable. That was one thing that they're lacking on, a spammable stun. Sure, you've got Primal Roar, but this Sven stun is going to be quite nice for NP, I think.
10 seconds remaining.
Nice. Yeah. And, you know, as we said, like Ursa, Sven, same idea. It's just up against Juggernaut, up against Centaur War Runner. Someone needs to bring that consistent physical damage to bring these two down. It's very nice during the spin. Try to save himself, and it'll be FDL who ends up going back for that Faceless Void.
So
that'll be for Bisa, the Lincoln's first Void, boys. Coming.
Okay. Wow. Surprising to see Void make it all the way to final pick. He's been even first banned in some games, really high priority, and it's just kind of interesting. So what are we thinking here? Overall draft, I'm sort of liking the NP draft, though. I think it is a bit scary just how early they can fight, and if they get control early on, it's one of these lineups that can really punish quickly, take objectives, knock down Roche, use that dire side advantage. But FDL have a lot of options at the same time. They've got a lot of control. You've got Global, you've got Chronosphere, Centaur and Nyx are just an obnoxious set of heroes, especially once they both get Blink Daggers. You've got crazy initiation range. Both sides pretty interesting drafts.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I would say there's some things that I like about, like FDL, you look at and you're going to call it the less conventional one, I think, just because we haven't fully gotten into this whole, like, you know, Centaur War Runner, support, Nyx, Silencer, like, they're there. They're all heroes that we've seen doing these roles lately, but over on NP, this is, you know, Elder Titan, Shadow Demon, Beastmaster, Sven. Those are 4 heroes super in the meta all the time for the past, like, 3 months, and then Razor is totally fine, too, so I do like the fact that there's nothing too early coming from NP. If I'm on FDL, I would be like, okay, my Nyx can probably get up a couple levels, and maybe his Vendettas are actually going to be very important in the early game, which is not something you typically expect from a support Nyx, right? You're mostly thinking like the mid rotating very early, but if he gets a little bit of space just from the lack of pressure coming onto him, maybe he can put a big turning point in this early game.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And one of the other issues that FDL could face is very execution-driven, where NP, you know, they take a team fight, it doesn't work out, they can sort of rinse and repeat, go back to farming. If FDL take a fight and they don't get kills, but they use the global and the chrono, that's a green light for NP to start knocking down towers, take Roche again, just start powering through objectives. So for FDL,
scary, yeah.
per usual, it's a lot of pressure on the Silencer and the Void to make every ultimate count in that regard, because it's a long time when they're stuck on cooldown, especially in that early game before Void starts to level up a bit more. 140 seconds on Chrono is pretty significant.
Yeah, if you whiff one of these global silences, the punish is going to be disgusting, right? I mean, Sven Beastmaster, your buildings are gone. Wow, okay, I don't usually comment on cosmetics, but I have never seen this Beastmaster one. Is this new?
Let's take a look.
Is this
here.
Warhammer? This MSS one?
Helm of the Chaos Wastes. It looks pretty ridiculous. I don't know. I've never seen
Warhammer.
it. Yeah, it looks Warhammer.
It looks Warhammer-ish.
He looks like an orc from Warcraft 3 with like the most tricked out armor I've ever seen. He's like Thrall's relative from a distant land, a fellow king. Look at that helmet, dude. It looks like some Nature's Prophet shit.
He looks like one of those Clinks helmets. A little, oh man. All right, interesting.
All right, so it is the Jug mid here up against the Razor. Will not be a fun matchup for him. Should be good stuff for Envy, and then down bottom they'll have a safe lane try, where it will be MSS with some help for now from SVG on the Elder Titan. So a 2-on-3, kind of an interesting lane setup here as MJW's Centaur will be solo. And already in some trouble perhaps. AUI with a stun, 1437, starting to stack up some Shadow Poisons. Just putting some pressure on, but I think this will be kind of a tough lane for the Centaur. Again, seeing return level 1 here. Seems to be the comfort zone for MJW.
Yeah, I think once you see that, it's kind of like, you know, I mean, he is vulnerable right now, right? Like, not having the stun means that you can just trade as much as you want. So as long as you can keep the angles of the vision so that you're not getting traded back on, it's very nice for him. It's just like basically trading with return right now for 1437. It's like Darkseer when he comes to level 1 and he doesn't have that surge quite yet. And you just want to put as much damage on top of him as possible, try and burn away that regen. But MJW, as you said, comfortable with this build, knows what he's doing, brings up 2 stacks of tangos. Yeah. So he's still got 5 remaining.
That's true. Plenty of regen here. So good eye indeed. Dire side, they're coming out of the gate swinging here. Just looking at the CS chart, Razor dominating mid. Even the Beastmaster doing pretty well in the off lane here against the safe lane Void, at least trading evenly with the support of the Elder Titan. And up top, it's a free farm Sven, so no surprise to see him topping the charts. Looks like NP just finding more lane efficiency, at least in the first couple waves. Curious what this tri-lane can get done for FDL.
Again, unfortunately, it's a bounty rune here for SVG, so you know, if you get a haste rune or something on something like this early game Elder Titan, it can actually be pretty damn annoying for one of these 2 supports, like either Stan King or possibly even 4, but I don't think they have too much kill potential, right? A couple more levels stacked up. Maybe you can get something on these guys if they overextend, but for the most part, it's just 2 pretty beefy bruisers down here for the side of NP.
Yeah, that's true. I guess both these heroes pretty notorious for their high HP pools, even at low levels. Slightly lower armor heroes, but not really the abundance of physical damage down here. One of the weaknesses of Silencer, I suppose, does take him a couple levels to come online. Same with the Nyx Assassin in this role. It's a freebie there with the Hawk, but...
Oh, that's so nice, though. Getting those creeps, man. This is one of the reasons Beastmaster started to like fall off a little bit. Well, it's just like all the oracles and the shadow demons constantly bursting down your creeps and giving so much experience over those supports. And of course, the gold is always nice too, but for the most part, it's just those levels.
Yeah, that's true. SVG rotating about the jungle here. Hawk scouting things out. They see that double stack that the Juggernaut's been working on. Suzy really in Strug City, though. He's been relegated into the jungle, which means Envy has complete control of the lane. He's the leading last hitter in both last hits and denies, so good stuff there. I wonder if this alters the Razor's build at all when he's going, like, when he has this kind of early farm. Will we just see the early Dragonlance BOTs, just the standard? Will Envy get greedy and go for a Midas? Could it be the day?
I would. I don't think it'll be a Midas. That's quite the item. That was our Dragonite Midas. That was a game.
Yeah, dude, we saw it.
Some good stuff right there.
Of course, it's a Midas. Uh-oh, 0-4 in some trouble down bottom. Does find the stun on SVG, and now all of a sudden it's the Elder Titan that's in trouble. Bisa finds the first blood on the Void. Very nice for FDL. The old turnaround. The 3v2 finally pays off as MSS has to head for the hills. Much needed kill there, and that'll get this Void a little bit of recovery as they also get some space in the lane.
Oh, that's always tough. Going in 2v3, then you lose a hero, then you're just kind of questioning, always coming back down here and whatnot. So SVG still just going to try and hunt down this Juggernaut. He actually would find Susie doing this stack here. Definitely not expecting a kill. You'd just be expecting to leech some experience.
Yeah.
That Vision, he spots him low.
Maybe an opportunity here. Still a purple bird. Shadow Demon gets finished off by MJW. Oh my. Level 4 Centaur just bumps into him, but now SVG, he finds him. Susie in some trouble. The old stapler, not enough damage. And Jug just pops the healing salve. Envy cutting the lane, trying to put on even more pressure, knowing that Jug's in this vulnerable state, just laying some damage into this tower. Even pops the ultimate here to just clear the creep wave. Susie, feeling bold, comes back in. Plasma field, oh god, max damage on the Jug. And he'll get dropped down below 50%. He'll be forced back. Glyph comes out from FDL. They will try to make a hold here. There's a rotation from the Centaur. MJW running in on Envy, who's also got some damage coming. 1437 gets brought down by a plasma field. Now Centaur getting low from the right clicks. 0-4. Connects with a stun. Salve used up by Envy. Just wants to top himself off. Now continues to trade right clicks. He's got plus 63. And they just can't handle it, man.
Yeah, nice little rotation from MJW. Unfortunately, it's a wee bit too late. Shout out to him getting that kill up top, though. 1437, I guess, just not expecting the damage coming back over from that Centaur.
Level 2 double edge. It's a big chunk.
Yeah, that's huge because Elder Titan dies bottom, and then he's kind of at a crossroads where he's like, okay, I can't really apply that much more pressure down here. My Beastmaster still needs a few levels. And so he has to try and put some sort of an impact onto a Jug mid and finds him doing stacks, has that ward down, keeps him a little bit low, and then stays around to harass and make sure they get the kills. So solid plays by SVG.
No doubt. Dire supports starting to fall behind a little bit in terms of levels. Both the Shadow Demon and Elder Titan sitting at 3, and both supports on the side of FDL Silencer, as well as the Nyx Assassin sitting pretty at level 4. So FDL actually doing pretty well here, despite NP getting aggressive in the mid and shutting down the Jug. There's some space for the supports to farm the jungle a bit. And even the Juggernaut's not doing too bad. I mean, Susie did pick up an Iron Talon. So in recovery mode here. At least he finds level 6. So now Omni Slash opens up some potential possibilities.
Still just rocking Iron Talon, though?
Yep. It's a sad time.
I think I'm like missing some of his items. It's crazy.
Look at how aggressive this warding is, though. Thievin will come down and get a ward on the plateau. They've already got one inside this little pocket behind the tower. Now mid lane, Envy stealing some damage. Plus 59. And all the while, AUI is just farming away up top. Looks like Armlet first Sven. Nothing surprising there, but number 1 on net worth. Maxed out Great Cleave. He's just happy as a clam here, farming away. Focusing on CS.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure probably just get the Helm of Dominator going on, I would assume, just for, like, the stacks and everything, because like this game is just slow and easy for him.
Early
it's
HOD.
Every game with AUI. Like, they put so much pressure everywhere else on the map that he never has to worry about anything.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess 1437 tanked that 1 kill up top, so perhaps that was, you know, slight distraction tactics. Centaur was over here for quite a while dealing with that. But it never seems like anyone's pressuring AUI.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't. And that's definitely the case in this game. We'll see the Nyx Assassin turtled up in the mid, ready to defend his Jug. It seems like they sense this gank incoming. 3-on-1 MSS, now level 6, has the Primal Roar, looking to use it here. Can they jump on 747 before the Omni? They certainly can. Big damage coming his way. The double damage comes out, and Jug actually manages to pick it up before he dies, but it's an easy kill for NP. The Shadow Demon will get credit for that kill.
Ooh, those last hits, man, they are stacking.
Let's take a look
now
here.
Now a full 20 ahead here for Envy in the mid lane.
Yep. Sven about 20
filthy
ahead of the safe lane Void Bisa. It's a pretty big disparity on the top cores. Easy tower for Razor to boot, so that'll jump that net worth up even more. MSS looks like he'll just go brown boots into Necronomicon, at least for now, hanging on to that belt of strength. He's
Little
off
build
to
here.
a pretty good start.
They got to find something with this first chrono from Bisa. He's, I don't know, I feel like every game I watch Bisa play Void, he does go for that Lincoln's build, but maybe it's just this game doesn't seem like it's going to be going away where that's going to be too beneficial for him, so he is just going to go for the Vlads at the very least first.
He potentially could go Vlad's Blink. I mean, that's definitely the off-lane Void build. Might need something that packs a little bit more of a punch in the safe lane. Envy loses some mana here. Has that one value point in Unstable Current, so does have the counter purge anytime they use single target. MJW up top in some trouble against the Sven. Forced to use the Stampede. TP's home safely. A little blood shed, but nobody hits the deck.
All right, well, now occupying 3 of the top 4 slots. I think Team NP will be pretty damn happy with this right now. They still have all this pressure going on down bottom. Trying to keep Bisa even further away from the top.
Possibly
can't even come
find
close,
a kill.
man.
I think diving on Void's a little risky here, but...
Yeah, they just don't even have to.
Yeah, it's true.
No, they find when these supports, they kill them. They might go for like a smoke blade. Do they have any? Oh, yeah, they have one on 1.37. They're under a ward, though.
Good call on the HOD. Sven up 3 stack now in terms of Ancients, just moving into the Echo Saber. Maximizing, very nice. Very good.
They can just play this so stock standard. Like, buy Echo Saber, farm up my Svet. You know what I mean? Like, you can just get a Dragon Lance on Envy. Oh, he already has it up, so making life easy.
Yeah. Disappointed. Envy didn't get a Midas.
One day, man. You know, we'll be back to the Midas meta, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That end's definitely getting some buffs.
Is it? You think so?
I don't know. Maybe, you know, a teensy one. Something nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Midas is just a weird item. It works well on a select few heroes, and I'm kind of okay with that. I really don't miss the days of 3 Midas versus 4 Midas gaming. I mean, it's... I feel like there should be diminishing returns on the gold economy at that point. 747, maybe in some trouble here. TP home, Magic Immunity. No stun from Envy anyhow, and the Jug will make it out. Meanwhile, Bisa gets a couple of right clicks on the tower, and now set up onto the Centaur. Shadow Poison starting to stack up. TP home, no way to interrupt it. Echo Stomp still on cooldown.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscommunication there.
All right. Well done by FDL, though. They disengage and make it out. All the while, though, MSS making the most of the space, pressures the bottom lane, and that'll be a completed Necro book.
Yeah, same with AUI, too. Look where he's just farming that wave. Just no fear right now.
He's pretty close to the Echo Saber, only 400 away. His Sven getting really
chrono
strong.
needed here, Bisa. We need something.
The FDL is just like not even
this
slowly
is a good
bleeding
opportunity right now. Like, look how deep Envy is. They have Chrono, they have Stampede, but they can't even bring supports up to rotate and do anything. I mean, that's pretty depressing.
This is a pretty big lead for NP. It's deceptive because it's 2-2 at 12 minutes, but they're like 6,000 gold ahead, 4,000 experience, something like that. I mean, they've just worked the map so much more efficiently. Sven took out that huge stack of Ancients. That's how he jumped ahead of the Void, and now he's starting to stack it up again here, or at least trying to. MSS scouted out down bottom. Nyx finally gets his level 6. This could be a big moment. MSS down half HP. Bisa maybe thinking about the ult here. He gets stunned up. AUI ready to drop the hammer. Goes in onto 0-4. The global comes out maybe a bit late. It's a super defensive chrono, but still Beastmaster's little minions, they're chopping him down. 747 has a healing ward. Beautiful Earth Splitter. Finishes off the Void. Clips 747. He gets stunned up, and it's a bloody disaster for FDL. Not only is it a defensive chrono, but it doesn't even save them in the end. It's a huge play for the Sven. AUI making out like a bandit. 1K net worth trade, and they're going to turn this into a tower push.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly rocket science, but when you're this far behind in a game, those first big ultis need to be so huge in order to get any, like, I don't even know, like, a hope of momentum in this game.
Yeah. And
you come out with a global silence after you've already been, like, stunned in God Strength from the Sven. And, like, Beastmaster's already dead at that point.
Yeah.
It was, whew.
Yeah,
it's not quite working out here.
Definitely not. What is the sign of life for FDL, though? I mean, is it really just stacking the perfect ultimates? Is that all of their eggs now in one basket? The perfect chrono mixed with the perfect global? And I mean, it seems like they just don't even have the damage to follow up. 747 is such a key part of their damage-dealing arsenal, and he's just so far behind. He still doesn't really have any items sitting on phase boots, Iron Talon. I mean, yeah, he's got Aquila, but I mean, not even really that close to a Yasha or Manta or any other kind of, you know, sizable item.
All right. Well, hopefully 4 can just get something going with a couple vendettas, right? Maybe that can be some semblance of hope for them.
Maybe. I mean, now Roche underway by NP. Looks like it'll go uncontested. They do initiate on the 1437. Tactical feed there. A tactical chunder. Looks like FDL are either not suspicious or not interested in moving into the Roche pit. They are nearby. Scan gets dropped by the Radiant. It does turn red.
Yeah, no hope of stopping this one, though, so good play. Only hit 2 points in the aura for the Inner Beast. All you really need, honestly. They're so far ahead.
Yeah.
Just a simple Roche taken. Pop that baby. I assume it's on Envy. Yeah, you can just run into the fight. Got his bots up. The Razor build is complete.
Yeah. Now he's at the point where he can just hop on pretty much anyone, chase him down, especially with the Aegis. Can opt to be pretty aggressive. FDL feeling scrappy. They're starting to group up. I think realizing that just farming is not going to get them out of this hole. They've got to do something a little more crazy. They've got to fight, use their ultimates. Bisa initiated on. No point in time dilation yet. Still only level 9. Chronosphere comes out onto Envy. The rest of FDL starting to follow up. They still got the global, but it's a lackluster Chrono. They turn on to 1437. Now the global comes out. Secures the kill onto Shadow Demon as the Omni Slash gets deployed. They disengage out of the stun from Sven, and now the TP's home. Looks like they might make it. Stan King just barely. And everyone else will scatter. Ends up being a fairly clean kill for FDL. The Chrono didn't seem so great in the moment, but it did help break up the fight and set up that kill on Shadow Demon.
It's going to be good because they force a rotation from the entire squad of NP. It's great. Everyone's up top, but in the end, they drop all their spells, and they only get a kill on the Shadow Demon once again. So this is where that window comes in, where they just feel no fear. Like, not only do they have an Aegis, who you had chronoed, which kind of sucks, but they should be able to just clean out at least one of these towers, you would think.
Yeah.
Although this would be great. Envy's all alone down bottom.
His teammates completely grouped up in the top lane. Remember, he's got the Aegis and BOTs, so very speedy, hard to track down. Mana burn. Bit of additional damage.
Oh,
he's going to get the invisibility. MJW hops in at the last second, able to finish him off, grab the rune for himself. Now the creep coming in, throws some chain lightnings. It's not going to be enough to save Envy, it doesn't look like. However, it is enough to kill the Centaur. And the Juggernaut gets picked off in the top lane while all this is going on. They'll chase down that creep. Ancients won't be stacked, but ends up being a great fight for NP around the map with the Jug dying on top, a 2-for-1. And now they might be able to just push off this in the top lane. Or just back out.
In the end, I think you'd call it a win for FDL.
Do you?
Like,
they're far enough
I don't know,
behind
they
that
got rid
it's...
of the Aegis, like, at least now, when their spells are back online, they have a chance to contest and defend. Because if that Aegis doesn't go down there and they start approaching, even the next Chrono and Global Silence, and that Aegis is still up on top of Envy, like, the fight's still going to be just as hard as that one up top.
Yeah, no doubt. Elder Titan now working on the Yule Scepter. MSS with his level 3 Necro book inbound. Has the recipe, just needs a go with the Courier here. AUI. Well, he's picked up a full Reaver now, along with a Blink Dagger to go with his HOD Echo Saber. He's got a pretty full kit, up to 2300 HP, and just hanging on that casual Reaver. Reaver's not too bad. Definitely plays well with God's Strength. Bisa now just moving into Yasha after Vanguard. Still nothing too impressive on him in terms of items. Skirting the Lincoln's build.
And how close is he to this Heart of Tarask anyway? I know I saw he had the recipe. He just pinged it somewhere. So I guess he's not going for any satanic plays or anything like that. Makes sense.
Guess not.
A little bit early for that.
Don't know where the recipe... Oh, there it is. Yeah, sitting back at home. So he's actually pretty darn close. Considering we're 18 minutes in, this Sven is just massive. 13k net worth. Oh, man.
Good. Only 500 gold to go, and we'll have Heart Sven.
This is really impressive 4+1 play. Bisa deeper in the tree line, just TP's home. Nothing but defense coming out of FDL.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's that's almost what I wanted to call it earlier, was like a 4, because like 4 protect 1 used to be a thing, and this really is 4+1. It's just it's like 4 heroes are playing Dota, and AUI is like PvE this whole time.
Yeah.
Kind of does his own thing. They make space for him. He shows up for the fights, sure, but he's just like non-stop farming right now. His carry is crazy.
Yeah. It's insanely efficient too, especially in a game like this where you can just rush the helm of the Dominator. I mean, he started stacking immediately. I doubt he's missed more than just 1 or 2 stacks outside of you know, times when there's been fights or that creep has been occupied. That is definitely a first-class ticket to being overfarmed in the first 20 minutes. There's the Heart of Tarask, 3k HP Sven. Let's just take a gander at the Radiant squad. He's doubling the HP of the Centaur. Nyx still in the triple digits. Void barely in the 4 digits. Same with Jug, and Silencer still in the 3-digit club over here. I mean, right now the Sven has more HP than Silencer, Nyx, and Void combined.
Suzy is farmed like crazy right now, though. Like, he's almost caught up to Envy. He's only 2,500 behind at this point.
Yeah, but I don't know how much that's going to
1,500.
matter. I mean,
Nice.
look at AUI right now. He's just by himself, just chopping down this tower on the backside. See the Void fall in exchange for the Beastmaster. Nice disruption. Interrupts the TP out. MJW, he dies. What was that about 4+1? AUI soloing towers while the team fight's going on? And also distracting heroes. Up top, Jug trying to push. He gets the tier 2. Suzy with a Battle Fury just about completed, but all the while Nyx Assassin dies back in the base. Now the Chrono from Bisa comes out onto Envy. Buyback starting to come out. Centaur and Nyx Assassin, but from the low ground, Elder Titan destroys the Silencer. Beautiful Earth Splitter. Void's Chrono kind of works against them. AUI still just focusing on objectives, playing in his own world. Focusing on melee barracks. Will be able to bring it down now with the support of the team. FDL in a lot of trouble. Buyback from the Silencer also. It's so early on that the buybacks are stupidly cheap. Even the underfarmed supports are able to get back into the game. MJW just trying to pull them out of the base. Just, please fight me out here. Get away from my structures. He will die. The sacrificial Centaur. Meanwhile, up top, 747. Did about
he's got no TP.
a third damage to the tower. Now the Omni Slash, but he is in a world of hurt. I don't know if that's sacrificial lamb territory, but he did. Okay, so let's look at that team fight recap. 3 buybacks from FDL. Pretty big net worth swing. Looking good for NP. That was an insane sequence of just Sven focusing on objectives, the rest of NP killing heroes, and then Jug trying his hardest.
Heroes here. I don't know. There's a Faceless Void up here. There's a Centaur Warrunner over here. There's 2 other heroes in the base.
Yeah. They just can't use their team fight advantage.
Yeah, it seems like there's just no way they're going to win a game like that. They're just being pulled apart, I guess. Like, they can't find that moment where they can sync up. NP are doing a good job just making sure that's not going to happen. So FDL is struggling there, farming back up onto... I think it is important. Like, 747 has got a ton of farm. Considering where he was in the game at that point, where we're looking at him, we're like, okay, he's got Brown Boots Iron Talon right now.
Yeah.
You know? He is making those comeback plays, but then one of those big fights happens. Suddenly it's a 3k split between him and Envy.
Yeah, I mean, knocking down that tier 2 tower helps, but oh no, he gets initiated on the Blink Dagger from AUI, catches him off guard, and that's a dead Juggernaut in the grave for 45 seconds. No gold for buyback. Tier 3 tower now under siege. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, initiation comes out. Uh-oh, they catch Nyx Assassin. And the bug gets squatted, all the while mid. AUI focusing on the tier 3. 15 to 8, 22 minutes in. NP looking like they can seal the deal before too long. Mid lane of barracks turn to rubble. They'll head straight up top, and that's it. FDL calls it. Trent. NP, they are not messing around.
No, that's a game that just kind of got out of hand, right?
Yeah.
Played exceptionally well by NP, but we never really saw a moment for FDL where they could kind of figure this out. Didn't get our little stacked abilities. The Chrono didn't really have too many friends to help out inside. Didn't get any of that nice ganking power from the Nyx Assassin. Things just happening a little bit too fast from the side of NP. Not much else to say about it, I don't.
I mean, they had one of these lineups that just... It was sort of designed to come online early a little bit. They used that advantage to just get a little bit further ahead. And then once Sven took out that stack, it felt like, okay, FDL really needs to make a play now, this first Chrono. And I think that first Chrono was about the time when it's like, okay, now we've got to wait 2 minutes for that next game-changing play. And every minute that goes by, it's going to be harder and harder for this team to find kills. So... a noble effort, but FDL, I think they need to draft a little more in the moment. First checkpoint is definitely that laning stage. You can't hand over that Envy Razor and just let him walk all over you, because that's exactly what happens. Game 2 coming up in a jiff here, folks. I'm Zyori. He's Mottpax. You're watching the Northern Arena by Bell here on moonducktv. Thank you for joining us. We got Game 2 of NP versus FDL up after this break.